Hi everyone, this is Tanya. I am going to talk to you a bit today or this evening about using small groups in your online courses. So what you're going to read here today is a little bit of a presentation that I used to give to faculty that were part of the faculty development program at my university and other universities, as well as through the online learning consortium program that I used to lead. And so I think groups are a really great pedagogical tool. I've actually been studying groups for over 20 years. I wrote a thesis and a dissertation on them. And so I think that they are really great in helping students learn. I think also when we have group work, we know that students are going to be working in groups in their professional life, so it helps them build their skill set in doing that as well. So I talk a little bit about why you would use groups. I also later heard from Dee Fink one time, who was talking about groups and underrepresented students, and the fact that groups sort of give you this instant peer network, especially for those like myself that are first generation college students. And that network can help you not only through your learning process within the course, but also through other courses. And so I've just always, had a little affinity for groups. So anyways, what you'll read here is a little bit about why you can use groups in your online or blended course. Also, there's always challenges, right? Students say they don't like them, or we have students that are not doing the work. So I'll talk about a few strategies that you can use to help overcome those challenges. And then also it's sort of how do we create groups? And so I'll talk specifically about, what is the group doing, what's their task, and how that will play into who goes into the group, how many people, and all of those other sorts of things. And then also you'll see here, we'll talk a bit about different sorts of group activities. And so in the resources, there are links to sample group activities as well as different assessment things to help you, different sort of assessment forms and so forth. And so you can feel free to use those as a resource for this assignment or moving forth. So after you read a little bit about groups, I put together this checklist of sort of help you developing small groups. So if you go through the questions, it'll really help you start fleshing out a really good group activity. Every time I develop a group activity, I go back to the checklist because I'll forget to think of something. And so the checklist is always just really helpful. I usually have my students do large group activities that usually last about half a term. So maybe about 8 weeks, I have them do 2 of them, and they tend to be authentic experiential, so they sort of mirror what they would be doing in real life that's discipline relevant. And so just a little something to keep in mind there. So you can walk through the checklist to help you sort of flesh it out. And then I really like, as I talked about in the week 1, or was it week 0 intro video, we talked a little bit about pivoting to online quickly. And I strongly recommended that people use backwards design, and that also that people think about how you could redesign your course to take advantage of groups, because I think groups work really well online. It gives students a network, an instant network that they can use to support each other. Sort of that peer learning is almost better sometimes than instructor-led learning. And anyways, and it's also really great if you're rethinking the course to start implementing those sorts of learning opportunities. And so you're at the end of this, so after you read a little bit about groups, you're going to get a checklist to help you sort of flesh out your ideas. And then specifically, we want you to focus on the design piece. So, what's the learning objective or the desired result? What are the students going to produce collectively that's going to show that they've achieved those learning objectives? And so that's really getting down to the specifics of the graded activity for this week. So you're going to want to really flesh out that sort of backwards design that leads you down the path to developing a group activity for your course that you can incorporate in the next term. So I look forward to reading your small group learning activities that you post in the discussion forum. So thanks all. Have a good night.